guess I've always had a burning desire to have my own logistics company, and found the right partners to partner with, and on the 1st of May 2015 we started the business.
We started in 2015. Ryan Cummings, the MD, got an opportunity to start his own business. We all worked, so there was a bunch of guys that worked with him at the time, and he got this opportunity and asked us to join him.
So in his view, Wheel Logistics gonna be a solution provider to provide a 6-star service, which will provide a very simple, very easy, very efficient and stress-free customized end-to-end supply chain solution.
Mainly I'm looking at solutions for customers. So customers come to us with either a tender or they have a problem, they have an issue, they're looking for a solution, an answer, and they give us their figures, they tell us where they're importing from, because my job involves mainly supply chain end-to-end. Primarily for the last 20 years it's been China. We listen to their problems, we look at the issues they've got, do analysis, and come up with solutions for them to get their product here faster and cheaper.
Having worked for other providers out there and seen what they did well and seeing what they didn't do well, I recognised there was a really big gap in the market. A lot of freight forwarders were still focused on traditional freight forwarding, and a lot of the larger freight forwarders were focused on the big boys. The gap we feel is that gap between traditional freight forwarding and next level full end-to-end supply chain management. With our people, our partners and our technology, we're able to provide an end-to-end solution that many of our competitors simply cannot, and we're able to do it for small, medium and large providers. Traditionally, most of the larger competitors in our space only target the big boys. However, our ability to offer that scaled model of end-to-end supply chain solutions to both small, medium and large has really been a point of difference and has helped us scale our business at a rate that our competitors can only dream of.
If you are an importer right now and you have your products in the middle of nowhere in the other continent, you want to see when these goods will be manufactured, will be ready for shipped, how long will be on the boat, how long when will be arrive at your destination, when will be on the port, when will be on the back of the truck, and when will be delivered at your door. For us, as a logistic professional, our job is to remove those variables in the process to provide a certainty to the service, and you know when you're gonna get the goods, and you know you'll get them on time every time.
We've guaranteed supply chain services, so anyone that needs to take control of their supply chain, anyone that wants complete visibility, then you're our target market.
So the core services of our logistics are you deem traditional freight forwarding, international freight encompassing both ocean freight, air freight and e-commerce. Customs clearance encompassing both your standard customs clearance but as well as tariff consultancy, customs review. Container transport, deliveries for LCL and air freight as well. But in addition to that, we provide more of an end-to-end solution as well. So we have a control tower set up in our Asian origin offices that enables us to manage vendor relationships for a lot of our clients, as well as purchase order management and consolidation at origin, which again provides a cost reduction saving for our clients down at this end. And domestically, we have our own 3PL facility that is able to provide both pick, pack and distribution services to clients that require that here in Australia as well. Putting that all together, we were able to provide a full end-to-end solution encompassing complete visibility and transparency through our technology.
Yeah, I'd like to think our main point of difference at Whale Logistics is our end-to-end supply chain solutions. We like to try and give our clients our vision suite of products, which entails some vision reporting, which is a lot of basic information, but sometimes clients don't get these where they're at the moment, through to our vision BI tools, and then into our vision systems, which is an overarching supply chain management tool. Because at the end of the day, we want to empower our clients to make better business decisions.
So I founded Vision Supply Chain Technologies again on that belief that technology is the future, and providing, I guess, a point of difference that Whale could provide and a point of difference that our clients that don't need it right now will need in the future. So Vision Technology is a combination of both platforms that we've licensed here in Australia or platforms that we've built ourselves, but they very much fit within our range of products that provide a complete end-to-end supply chain solution.
In the retail market, you have issues where you want the product in the right place at the right time. If you think about advertising, you place an advert in a paper, that can be done 6 months before the product actually arrives in the country. So it's no good opening up the paper on a Saturday and seeing a lovely new product that you're after. You go down to the shop to buy it and it's not there. Companies are very aware of that, and they want to make sure that the supply chain flows in so the product's there at the right time. And it's very difficult because you can either have too much product, in which case you have to lower your price, or you have not enough product, so you don't make the profit that you thought you was going to make. So it's a very fine balance for companies to get it right. Our job is to help them to achieve that goal.
The main attraction of joining Whale was the fact that Ryan Cummings was his company, and he was going to be making the decisions ultimately. Even though we are part of a group at the moment, Ryan still has the ultimate say in the running of this business, which gives us a lot of flexibility in what we do and the directions that we go. We're quite proud of our network. We're a part of a global company that's got around 200 plus offices throughout China, Southeast Asia, Europe, the US, and we're part of other groups as well. So we're part of Whale Logistics, but we're in a group called Panda and Dolphin Logistics as well. So we have a very large network that we rely on and that we share resources and intelligence throughout the freight forwarding logistics industry.
For Whale Logistics itself, we incorporated in 2015. So back then we only had 5 people in one office. And 6 years later, now we actually have 25 employees and have multiple offices within Australia. Out of the top 10 ports, we have presence in 8 of them. So for a company with only 6 years history, it's pretty impressive. In the past few years, it's not only we hold double-digit growth in a few years in a row, and also we maintain a very high gross margin in terms of industry benchmark.
Some of our most memorable milestones would be opening this facility here in 2017. This facility here at Ingleburn is our main warehouse and 3PL facility. It's around 2,500 square metres, and we offer everything from unpacking, deconsolidating containers through to pick and pack, same day distribution of warehousing.
What excites me still in the industry is that every day you turn up for work, it's a different problem. Some of the solutions you've seen before. So it's really nice when you're out selling a service or a solution, you find that the customer eventually says, yes, let's do it. So the satisfaction really, or the excitement, is to see it actually transcend from the scribble board where you've thought of the solutions that you've worked together as a team to actually fulfilling that and it actually becoming a live piece of business. That's very satisfying.
There was 2 things. We had to look at ourselves and look, how can we do this better? And again, technology plays a part in that. And one of the focuses that we have with technology is on eliminating, automating and accelerating. So the first thing we always look to do is eliminate data entry, eliminate manual task processing and eliminate mistakes. The second thing we look to do is automate. So anything that can be done by a computer, we try and get it done by a computer. And accelerating. The best technology in the world is not going to communicate or have a conversation with a client. So really investing in our people is important. So we've had business coaches and mentors come in and do different things with different people and different teams. We've got a big focus at Whale on team environment, creating the flexibility. We've got work from home days, monthly lunches with all the staff, and they've either tired, they're overworked, or they're stressed. They've had a big weekend. So what we thought is, all right, well, everyone gets a day off. No questions asked. You can have your day off. Just got to remember when you turn up the next day that the work's going to be there and you've got to get it done. But again, it's just trying to create that flexible working environment for all our people. We don't want to be a dictatorship. We want to be a business for the people that achieves great outcomes for customers. The things we're really proud of here at Whale Logistics is in January 2020, we were certified by Great Places to Work as a great place to work. And I guess that's been a 4-year journey to get to that point in working with our people and identifying, are they in the right roles? Have we given them the right tools? How do we get them to be better? Being recognised at the International Business Awards for 2 years in a row as the most innovative business in our category. If anything, it's a bit of a pat on the back. A lot of people have worked really hard to get where we are, and for us it's recognition for the hard work we've done. It's recognition to our clients that have believed in some of the crazy ideas we've thrown at them. It's recognition to the staff that have come up with those crazy ideas, really, and recognition to the people that helped put those ideas together and for the reasons we got awarded. Well Cares is something very close to my heart. I guess a light bulb moment where I think, what can we give back to community? And we're invested in several community sports clubs, and we tend to pick those clubs that are, I guess, within the community of our officers and our staff. A couple of years ago we did a fundraising campaign with over 150 of our own officers and through our vendors and local vendors and customers, and we were able to raise a substantial amount of money that donated towards the Smith family book and toy appeal. That was really exciting at the time. Other charities that we've focused on, children or youth in underdeveloped countries that are unfortunate or don't have the same upbringing. Being through 2020 and the coronavirus pandemic and coming out the other side is really important. Having had those discussions with our clients early on in the year when China was closed and customers are worried if they're ever going to get their stock and is their business going to be open in 3, 6, 9 months, to then again Australia going into lockdown, China opening up back up, and then customers thinking, well, I can't continue to order because I don't know if I'm going to be able to sell the stock. How long's the lockdown going to last? And having the, I guess, roller coaster of emotion, working with the clients to identify how can we help them through this period was really important. And for us, it showed that what we'd been working on over the last 5 years made us stronger during that period, because we were very fortunate. And if it proved anything, it proved that our focus on being flexible and having the tools and the equipment to support the flexibility helped us be very successful during the pandemic. And more importantly, it helped our clients be very successful because we didn't miss a beat. Taking what we learnt from last year and then tweaking that so that we can create that environment where we are able to survive anything.
This wasn't necessarily a business born out of necessity. It was a business that was brought out of opportunity, and it was a business that was started by a guy in Melbourne. Then we had the recession, and that was about 1992, and at that point Roof Seal took over the company that I worked for. The recession that we had to have continued, and I made the offer to take over a division of the company that was unprofitable. And then I started to own divisions of that company progressively in 93 through 95, and eventually took over Roof Seal in Melbourne.
Started my career was with SA government. I wanted a sea change, so I moved overseas for a couple of years and came back. Didn't know what I wanted to do, so Dad said, well, come work for me for a short term until you work out what you really want to do.
He came back from overseas and told me he wouldn't mind getting his hands dirty, so we put him into the paint factory, because if he was going to have a future with the company, he needed to know right from scratch.
Then I actually started really at the grassroots of the business. I started off as a yard sweeper, tidying the offices around, doing handyman stuff. And then I went into production of our coating system, then bought the coating system out of Victoria into South Australia and then set that up in SA. And then I moved into more of a trade division, managing the trades, and then I moved into the marketing manager position. That was kind of an evolution from to get to know all of the business and how all the divisions work. I then know how the business operates and what each division needs to do to be successful.
So he's been successful in every step that he's done. Then it came time for him to step up and take over the Adelaide operation.
A big win for me was when I took over as estate manager and director from my father. I was quite scared of when I took on that role, but to be able to take it over and grow it and develop it from where it was, I'm quite proud of that personally. I guess communicating that fear with my team members and building a really good base around myself of people who I could trust and work with. Changing and how do we change and how do we grow and how do we develop together. So it's about communicating that with staff and family and friends who, support myself to get that result. I set monthly and yearly benchmarks that I maintain, and I try and hit those benchmarks month after month. Another milestone we had was that we were awarded Australia's Best Roof Restoration Company in 2017 for an Australian award. That's a pretty good success.
As we've been successful in handing across the major operations to James, which are the Melbourne and Adelaide operations, it's been my drive that we repair and expand the franchise network that we have.
So our core business obviously is roof restoration, but we do also do re-roofing and plumbing, so guttering and downpipes. We do a gutter guard protection system. We also do roller shutter for external windows and outdoor blinds. They just go hand in hand with obviously the home. Our main point of difference is that we manufacture our own coatings, which is called Elemex. We only supply to ourselves. It's not a retail product, so we only supply and manufacture for ourselves.
We retain for 7 years a liquid sample of every batch that we produce, and that is in case there be any defect with the roof. We can actually trace to that batch, we can trace from the roof to the batch, we can give that liquid sample to our paint chemist and he can analyse as to whether there's any defect with that coating. We also retain what's called a drawdown card from that coating at the point that it's manufactured. That means that we can assess any defect with any roof should it occur. We can assess whether it's a problem with the application of the coating or it's a problem with the coating itself. We have a chemist available to us who has input to the company, who's had over 40 years experience making coatings, so that we've basically over the years perfected our coatings. We know exactly what goes into the coatings and there are no shortcuts.
We here in SA actually have bonded tradesmen, so they buy a franchise off us and then we then supply them work. So they can only work for us and they actually buy into the business. We train them. If there is a problem, we've got control over that and we have to then rectify that work.
We really do try to have it be a happy experience for the client. Every salesperson that is involved with us signs a pledge that they'll be honest and upfront with our clients, also that they'll never take advantage of anybody. To be sure of the service that the client's going to receive, we have what we call bonded tradesmen. These are tradesmen that have contributed their own capital to basically say that they're going to do an excellent job and they're going to abide by the standards that RoofSeal dictate. That's been caught by the franchising legislation, which has turned them into franchisees. And it came about because of the high transient type of people that were attracted to the roof restoration industry, where they were considerably fly-by-night, and some of those people are still around. And this brought, in our organisation, ethics and credibility to the trade side, so that they will do exactly what they're supposed to on the roof, they won't cut corners, and they'll do an exceptional job. Once the job is completed, we inspect every roof.
We have a full-time employee who is a licensed building inspector to ensure that the service and the product that we're delivering by our tradesmen is up to our company standard and our, my personal standard.
Oh, and your roof is getting lost
The
between...
seal was in a very primitive form when I took over the Melbourne operation. It was a sort of cartoon sketch. And we came across a great marketing guy called Dave Cook and produced the seal as it is today. He came up with it. The jingle that we have that's so famous, and I've even had airline hostesses sing it on the flight to me.
7-0. Roof, roof!
I started in 1987. I left school as a 16-year-old lad with not much desire or want to do, or not knowing what I was going to do. So I joined a company called Roof Seal. I sort of was on the road booking appointments door to door for the first 3 years of my life. And then I became in the sales area from 1990. In 2000 I was appointed the state sales manager. In 2010 I was appointed in a national role setting up franchises on the eastern seaboard of Australia. It's a very unique system that Roof Seal formulated. It is a free roof inspection. Predominantly the work that we do here at Roof Seal is roof restoration, which is roof restoration, a restoration process I should say, on a cement, terracotta or an iron surface. And what we provide is a 33-point roof inspection along with a verbal report. So what we actually are able to provide for the homeowner is some opinions and recommendations to their needs and requirements, and then it's up to that homeowner to work with one of our technicians or inspectors to work out what suits them best, and then from there we work out pricing and step forward accordingly. The guarantee period when we complete a roof restoration is for 7 years. The benefit there for the homeowner is that the 7-year guarantee covers the workmanship carried out, and in South Australia and Victoria we normally use bonded tradesmen, so that's a benefit to the homeowner, and we're exploring that in other states as we sit here today. Also the good thing is that the flexible acrylic compound that we use on the ridge capping and the coating systems, Elemix coating systems using solid oxides, gives that homeowner a chance to have something that they don't have to actually worry about for another 15 or 20 years. A lot of roofs cannot be restored if they will not take to a high pressure clean at 2,500 to 3,000 psi, because you'll cause more damage and obviously could cause issues with inside the home. So if a roof, a cement roof or a terracotta roof is too brittle or too weathered, it won't be able to go through the restoration process. So then we would offer that homeowner in that regard a new roof, whether it be tiles or whether it be filters, steel roofing products that we get through BlueScope.
Yeah, we try to support charities in different ways. We've done Youth Opportunity, which is dear to our hearts, which is a charity that supports school kids that may have whatever issue. Probably the most significant one where we were able to help was to do with prostate cancer. We also have done letterbox drops where our direct marketing people have promoted prostate cancer should be checked out, and the wonderful thing is that the media have come on board and substantially promoted that you should get yourself checked. We've also done the SES, there's also been the Make-A-Wish Foundation, there's also been Beyond Blue that we've done. There's probably one or two that I've missed. COVID has certainly impacted us terribly in Melbourne, and it's prevented us giving the type of service in Melbourne that we would like to, but we'll get on top of it.
We definitely did make some huge adjustments. In Victoria, I completely shut down the Victorian office and transferred all of the phones and all the contacts into South Australia, and had all the calls coming through the call centre here so that we could manage it on a national level and still keep that customer service up with our client base.
Yes, we had less staff because we were going into precautionary measures with the business about were we going to be able to stabilise, were we going to be able to survive through COVID. So it was testing times, and then when the phone's calling 3 or 4 times as many times as what it normally is through a day, and you've got lack of staff, it became evident to us that people were at home looking at issues around the home and then calling us to help them out. Understanding where COVID came for us, and for everybody, which was the end of March, that was leading into our winter period, and we were already very, very busy leading into winter to try and get those homes finalised and fixed and sorted for the homeowner. So to have the multiple inquiries keep coming in day after day for about a 6-week period through that April-May period when people were working at home wanting roofing work done came quite a task. But we've been very lucky though. We've been very, very fortunate being a market leader for 30 plus years and having a product and the culture of this company about looking after that homeowner that actually helps us being front of line when people think that they have a roofing issue that they need to attend to. RoofSeal in South Australia would complete 25 roof restorations a week, subject to good weather. Nationally, we would complete somewhere around 45 to 60 roof restorations a week, if the weather will allow us to, with our coating systems and with the flexible acrylic compound that we have to put on the ridge capping that has to set over a period of a couple of hours. But we would complete up to 60 roof restorations a week.
So we've survived the global financial crisis. We survived the recession that we had to have. We survived the introduction of GST, which put everything up 10%. We're surviving COVID. The reason is that bang for buck, as far as home improvements is concerned, your roof makes an incredible visual difference. So not only do you look after your asset by getting your roof repaired, but you also get a big bang for your buck because it transforms the appearance of your home to the rest of your neighbourhood. And that in turn causes your neighbours to then contact us. It's a self-fuelling industry which has been particularly good to us.